Are you satisfied with the vetting that was done of General Flynn by the transition team before he came on board as the National Security Advisor?
So that's a great question. I appreciate you bringing it up. Let's walk through that for a second. General Flynn was a career military officer who maintained a high-level security clearance throughout his career in the military. His clearance was last reissued by the Obama administration in 2016 with full knowledge of his activities that occurred in 2015, as you point out. So the issue is, he was issued a security clearance under the Obama administration in the spring of 2016. The trip and transactions that you're referring to occurred in December of 2015, from what I understand. So, obviously, there's an issue that, as you point out, the Department of Defense Inspector General is looking into. We welcome that, but all of that clearance was made by during the Obama administration, and apparently with knowledge of the trip that he took. So. That's how the process works, and I welcome the Department of Defense's IG's review. Jordan.
If he wasn't fired by the president if he wasn't fired by the president for lying to the vice president, would he still have a job today, right here at the White House?
I will just say that I think the president made the right call at the right time, and it's clearly paid off.
To General Flynn, first you said earlier, you emphasized the Obama administration had reissued his clearance last year.
Yeah.
So. Is the implication there that we should be taking that if the Trump administration was the one adjudicating his clearance this year, he would not have been issued that clearance now that the White House knows everything that there is about General Flynn?
No, I think I'm just making sure people understand the process and how it works. And the way a process works is that if you have a top security clearance, you fill out a form, there's an investigation done, you are reinvestigated every 5 years if you are able to maintain that clearance. And then whoever owns that clearance, whether it's the FBI or the Department of Defense, goes out, does the investigation. In between that period, you're responsible for updating the information that you've provided in accordance with the agency that issued that. My only point is that when General Flynn came into the White House, he had an active security clearance that was issued during the Obama administration with all of the information that's being discussed that occurred in 2015. So I guess my only point is to explain how the process works and who adjudicated that.
So you're not implying wrongdoing on the part of
No, that's why the Department of Defense Inspector General's looking into this to see how that process works. But I think it's important for folks to understand that when someone applies for a clearance, they get that clearance. It's issued at the top security clearance level for 5 years, and that the person who has been issued it then has a legal obligation to update the issuing agency any variances in what they supplied as information to obtain that clearance.
Finally, when you were here on February 14th, the morning after General Flynn was fired by the president, you said that the president asked him to leave the White House because of the situation regarding the phone call to the Russian ambassador and the vice president, but also, quote, a series of other questionable instances. I was hoping now you can provide some more information now that more, some of his financial dealings in particular are now have come to light. Is that what led to his termination at the White House?
I think we addressed it at the time, and I think that's right. And I think the president made the right decision at the right time, and he continues to stand by that. Major.
Following up on a couple of things that have been brought up to you today. John's question, not the process, but your own vetting, meaning the transition. Are you satisfied that met the standard that should have been met with Michael Flynn? And are there any regrets that this White House has about bringing him in, knowing what you know about him now, and seeing the behavior that would be plainly inconsistent with the standard that candidate Trump set during the campaign?
Well, with respect, you're saying our process. The process is every government employee who's eligible for a clearance goes through the same process. So it's not, we don't have a unique process.
That's not the only question you asked Michael Flynn. Couldn't possibly be the only thing you asked him.
When someone comes in, the question is, do they have a clearance? If not, they apply for one. And if they have one, then the clearance is made available from the issuing agency. You can't. The whole reason you have a clearance is so that someone is found whether or not they're.
As you just said, Zeke, it was not just the episode with the Russian ambassador; it was other instances. Those things have come to light. Any regret about bringing him in?
I would just say the president.
Have this done, and knowing what you know now, Did you miss something and you regret bringing Michael Flynn in?
I think the president made the right decision at the right time, and it's been pretty clear that he you know.
You regret bringing
No,
Flynn in.
I'm just saying he made the right decision, and I think we looked forward from that decision, and the decision stands.
On the question about, 'cause Gary Cohn, the Treasury Secretary, left us with the implication yesterday when asked about retirement savings that they were protected. What you just said is indicated they might not be. Can you help us understand?
I can't. Let me get back to you on that. I was not clear on that distinction. I will have the Treasury folks read that out for you.